It feels like a lie, but we actually got a new trailer for Pokémon Legends Z-A, and it's weird saying it like that, but that's how it actually is. As always, I'm gonna look at everything frame by frame, trying to find every secret, which I don't feel like there are many this time. Still, we're gonna do it and start with the main trailer, then the overview trailer, and then the website, in case there's something there. I might connect them sometimes during the trailer, but that's the order that I'm going for. So hey, I'm Not So Ace Trainer, like, subscribe and consider becoming a channel member, and let's get into it. The trailer opens up revealing the main characters and a Skiddo in one of the streets in Lumiose. Assuming that this scene is from a very early scene in the game and we are very near the train station, and judging by the website picture where we are at the train station, it seems we already have the Mega Bracelet and the Keystone from the get-go. The male character looks a bit like Professor Sycamore, while the female character kinda reminds me of our mom in X and Y. From the website, we know that we are in Lumiose to sightsee as we usually travel, and we got there by train. This shot is from another location where we can spot a Pokémon Center, which are open, likely to avoid loading screens. And we can also see the Prism Tower in the distance. There's what seems like a Pyroar main over there, which is actually a vitamin ad, and the main is a Litleo spitting fire. And our jacket has an interesting logo with the mega colors that likely will be very important in the game. The camera pans up and then shows us a closer look at another area near a Pokémon Center, showing a man with a Sliggoo and another Pokémon Center in the distance. This one is closer to the canal that cuts through Lumiose City and seems to be between Vert and Jaune Plaza. The next shot shows us what looks like a shopping area with many boutiques where we likely will be able to change our appearance. Then we see our first Wild Zone. These are areas where Pokémon will be spawning, and it has the same generic Pokémon statue on top of the entrance pillars. We then see variations of these, first one where Clauncher and Furfrou show up, and another one, Wild Zone 8, where Sundial seem to have fun. Then we finally see our starters, Totodile, Tepig and Chikorita. Strange, two Pokémon from Johto, nobody guessed that. We seem to be in front of an important building, the same one from the original trailer where the Sylveon battle is happening. From the overview trailer, we can see that it is actually the train station. Then we see scenes of the starters with them running by our side, confirming what is likely following Pokémon and even eating with us at cafes. We move on to Wild Zone 1 where we are crouching and approaching a Bunnelby. There is also a taxi behind us, which makes me question if they will return or not. The following shot shows us entering a battle with the Bunnelby and beginning an attack outside of it. There's also a few people in the area, which does beg the question if there will be random trainers in the game. This next part is confirmed ahead, but it appears that a Pokémon will not faint right when its HP hits 0. It will become stunned, making it a lot easier to catch. Also, aiming Pokeballs to catch is also back. In the distance, we can also see that Wild Area 1 has Fletchling and Skiddo, as well as spy a light on top of a building, which could be a teleporting area like the one in the following scene. In the distance, we spy what are the Quasartico headquarters, but we'll know more about them later in the trailer. Our choices of movement also appear to be more varied, and our Rotom phone appears to sadly take the place of our right Pokémon as we double jump from one building to the other. This part though, I'm still hoping it isn't quite just like that. As the scene changes, we meet Urbane, a play on Urban, which will likely work as our rival, and lives and works at Hotel Z. The next scene shows a battle in real time, with you controlling your Pokémon and being able to dodge actual moves, like Totodile dodging Flame Wheel and then shooting Water Gun. This is then shown again with Lucario dodging Pyroar by a Pyroar statue as they confirm that barrel rolls are back. We then have a look at the Mega Bracelet, as our Lucario Mega evolves into Mega Lucario and we are treated to Mega Kangaskhan, Mega Absol, Mega Sableye, Mega Altaria, Mega Charizard, Y and X, Mega Ampharos and Mega Gyarados, and Mega Gardevoir. Then we see some animations and meet Towny, a play on Towny, who also lives and works in Hotel Z. We'll meet either Urbane or Towny depending on the appearance we pick, so they are exclusive. Next, they show us Hotel Z from outside. It looks older than the rest of the city, less high-tech, and we can see there that we can climb to the top of it. We then meet Jet and Vinny. Jet is the CEO of Quasartico and has a beret-like hairstyle. Quasartico is a large corporation that's pushing the redevelopment plan further to make people bond with Pokémon. Vinny has a Wolverine-like beard and reminds me of Lysander somehow. He is Jet's secretary who always wears sunglasses and works pretty fast. On top of his head, he has a Veneri and Panchan scrunchie, and I do believe that we'll see them come off and likely reveal a weird hairstyle, kinda like Volo. We go back to Hotel Z where we meet the owner, AZ, looking a lot older. The decoration is a lot older as well, with even the drapes looking stitched together. In the back, there's pictures of AZ's Floette, who then appears right before us. On top of Hotel Z, we meet 10% Zygarde watching over the city or at Prism Tower and implying a connection with the hotel. We find out on the website that it actually seems to have taken a liking to us. At the end of the trailer, we have a strange cutscene where we wake up late in the night, the light hitting our window changes to a reddish hue, and our Rotom phone tells us that there is a promotion match announcement. I believe this is going to be very important story-wise, but some people believe it means there's online battling. I don't think that's the case, and I'll have a theory on this in no time. Moving on to the overview and ignoring what we've already seen, we are treated to Vivillon and Budew near a Florges statue, followed by the OG Kanto evolutions having a chat. There's another look at the Pokémon Center advertising potions and revives. There seems to be two sides to the same counter, one with the classic healing machine and the other with the blue collar, likely being related to buying healing items, and maybe even Pokeballs. We see Wild Zone 4 and then we see the returning Patrat watching over an area where there's still construction happening by the Quasartico company. We take a look at another area with Pikachu, Clawitzer and the Bellsprout in the background and someone apparently using an evolved form of the Holocaster. Then we find Larvitar and Bagon likely chatting about not being exclusives this time, Shield Form, Aegislash and Eevee, a bunch of Trubbish and a Garbodor sleeping in the Lumiose alley, another Eevee in a cafe near the area where we meet the starters, and then we see Sylveon, Weepinbell and Chandelure. We then run past what could easily be Café Soleil on South Boulevard, where in X and Y we actually find Diantha and Lysander, with another Eevee here in the background. This scene shows us that we'll be meeting in Quasartico and the pattern formed on the wall is very much the same pattern on the phone app that wakes us up. Wild Zone 2 will have Magikarp and Wild Zone 1 will also have Scatterbug joining the Bunnelby and Fletchling we already knew about. There is also an ad here for Furfrou trims, which means we'll be able to do that 100%. Fluffy and Swablu spawn in the same area and judging by how we entered the Wild Zone, there don't seem to be loading screens. Here we take our first look at the minimap, showing up on the top left corner of the screen, highlighting the Wild Zone in green, as they confirm catching EXP coming back to the game. The next scene shows us once more getting into a very action-based battle as we feint the Pokemon or stun it, get the global EXP, and are still able to catch it, getting even more EXP. It's important to note as well that there is a cooldown on our moves that prevents us from spamming them, and Chikorita learns Disarming Voice, which raises some speculation about a possible Mega Meganium or a Colossal Meganium being Fairy-type. The mini-map also shows us a fly point and what is likely one of those teleports to a higher area or down from a higher area. Moves will have different reaches as well, making battles harder to plan for, as we can see battling Tony in front of Hotel Z. Then, on the battle courtyard, we learn that we can protect if we do it at the right time, with a team of Lucario, Diggersby, Pyroar, Kangaskhan, Aromatisse and Roserade. And we also learn that a Pokemon moving into hazards can actually just get taken down from it, as a Hypodown uses Stealth Rock on a Talonflame, with a team of Pidgeotto, Slurpuff, Skiddo, Fluffy and Goomy. Then a Vivillon dodges Pyroar's Flamethrower as we send out an Onix seamlessly. Once more we see Mega Evolutions and see a kind of Mega Meter that seems to be going down from the moment you Mega Evolve. And just like in Mesagoza, there seem to be outside stalls selling goods, as we see a happy Swirlix and a feasting Dedenne. This is followed by Inkay, Gyarados and Magikarp in the canal between Vert and Joan Plaza, and then Fletchling, Litleo and Patrat. We then take a better look at the map of Lumiose with that same pattern behind it at Quasartico headquarters, and then Luca's office from Pokémon X and Y. Now this is what tells us when the game happens, and it seems to be in the near future. The code hanging on the wall tells us that this is not Luca's office anymore, but likely, judging by the color, Emma's office. The picture on top of the blue book seems to be of Hesper or Mimi, and while it's impossible to tell, no matter how much I zoom in, there seems to be a lot happening inside of Lumiose City, and I think will be helping the investigation. Then we see a Zygarde cell, be ready to hunt them, and our place at Hotel Z, where we'll be staying during our adventure, with wine and everything. The website doesn't give us a lot of new info, but it does tell us that the rooftops will help us guide ourselves through the city, as the different areas have different colored rooftops. We can also spot here a Hex Maniac, making us all wonder if we're gonna get an answer finally to that weird ghost girl. Looking at the map, I think we can also spot the Lumiose Museum, Hotel Richissime, Sycamore's Lab, and maybe the old train station, at least I believe so, though this building here is confusing me. And that is all I could find, and as you can see, there don't seem to be a lot of hidden secrets, at least not that I could find, so if you found something different, please let me know. There's still some interesting stuff with Hotel Z and also Quasartico, but time will tell what comes out of it. I have quite a few theories already, of course, and Tuesdays and Fridays they'll be out here on YouTube, so keep your eyes open for them. But for now, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Dash Plays and Yahtzee, and Twitch subscribers Anubis here, Lazarix and Zanes222 for going that extra mile. From the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much.